Hi garden friends. Today is the 4th of July and I'm off and I have a ton of preserving to do today. So all I'm doing is going out to the garden to see if there's any more green beans, because I'm starting with my green beans. So I'm gonna go and see if there's any more green beans out here that I can cut before I actually start canning things. Look at this. They've merged. Cucumbers will latch on to any and everything. You stand out here long enough, the cucumber is going to latch to you. But my goodness, it's a lot. Y'all, the bees are out here putting in the work. They don't care that it's a holiday. They just working. So let's see what we can harvest. Okay. I'm probably getting eaten alive right now. I usually do not come out to my garden with a sleeveless shirt on and shorts on because the mosquitoes like me. But I wasn't supposed to be out here long. Oh no, my sunflower broke. It was a little one. Anyway, let's get these green beans. All right, y'all, so you can see it's a little bit over a pound of green beans here. And I try to can as I get enough to can, at least like 4 or 5 paints, just because I just don't want them sitting around and I want them to try to stay as fresh as possible. So here I am cutting my green beans. Y'all, I don't know why I was being so extra, because I should have just been snapping these things. I don't know. Maybe I was trying to be fancy because I was recording. I don't know, y'all. But what I'm looking at here is making sure that none of these green beans that I plan on preserving are like damaged or have any spots on them. That way I'm getting the most quality in my canned green beans. So here we go. I came to reality and I started snapping them green beans. My grandmother would be so mad if she saw me cutting them green beans like that. Anyway, yes, so I'm almost done. So I also decided to use some of the onions that I had grabbed from the garden a couple days ago that had been sitting on the counter curing and drying. So I'm going to cut those up as well to just add a little bit more flavor to my green beans. I didn't get a bad harvest, but here we go. Y'all, them homegrown green beans, them homegrown onions, they are potent. It's burning my eyes, so these are my onion goggles. Now it is time to process or to put the green beans in the jar. So I raw pack my green beans. I do not cook them first. I just put my green beans in the jar, just using a funnel here to make it a little bit easier for them to go where they need to go and not all over my my counter. So you'll see me pack these, and you want to kind of pack them tight. From the first batch of green beans that I canned, I saw that they will float. So it's important to kind of get as much as you can in there. I was trying to leave space for the onions as well at the top. With most canning recipes, you have to leave at least a 1-inch headspace at the top of the jar. And that's what I'm measuring here, to make sure that I have that 1-inch headspace. And if I don't, I will adjust them as well. Like I'll take some things out. Like in this case, like most of the time I was taking green beans out and instead of taking like the onions out because I wanted to make sure that the onions had a good amount. What I'm adding here is chicken broth that I just literally took off the stove. You usually want to add boiling water, but this batch I was trying to change up the flavor a little bit. So I added chicken broth to the jars instead of just boiling water. And you saw me making a mess, so I'm just ladling it in. And then once again, you want to make sure that you leave that 1 inch headspace. You'll see in a minute or so, once I'm done with this, that you want to debubble. I use that same tool that I was using to measure the headspace to debubble. Because what'll happen is if you have too much air in your jar, it could definitely create a false seal. So you just want to get in there, move that things around, help the green beans settle a little bit better and get that air out. All right. When that is all done, you always want to have either some water, but most of the time I hear people say you want to have some white vinegar to wipe the rim. You want to make sure that there's no debris or anything that's left over on the rim because that will definitely hinder your whatever you're canning to seal the best. All right. Now that that's done, I'm getting my lids and my rings together. From what I have learned in my research, you always want to use new lids. Some people will say you don't need to buy new lids, you just need to have them clean. But I do new lids each time that I can. I do reuse my rings, however. So with this, you want to do fingertip tight. So you can see I'm putting the rings on and turning them. And then once they stop turning, I just turn a little bit more. See, so there we go. You want them fingertip tight. If you put them on too tight, it can cause the lid to buckle and not seal properly. All right, now we're getting to the canning process. So I have a Presto canner. It's not like a high quality one. This is actually probably the lowest quality one that you can have, but I'm just learning, so I didn't want to go all out right away. So I'm just putting my jars in the canner. In mine, you have to put at least a quart of water in it. This is a pressure canner, so you have to put at least a quart of water in it. And you always want to make sure that you have that little silver part at the bottom to separate your jars from the actual bottom of the pan. On here, I try to show you, but it tells you like where you're supposed to align the things, and then you just turn to seal it. I try to show you, but I don't really think you can see it. But you can see the little arrow here. And I just got this canner from Walmart. I think it was like $78 or something like that. But yeah. So the next thing that you do is let this come to pressure. I will tell you guys that I do can on a ceramic top, like a flat glass top. Some places say, oh, you can't do that, but according to my oven, it is possible. So once this little thing comes to pressure, it'll start to stay here. So this lets you know that it's to pressure. And then I add my weight, which is in the back here. And I give it another like 10 minutes or so with the weight on it to make sure. And then I start my 20 minutes. I can't, it's either 20 or 25 minutes. I can't really remember. And then once it's done, I just take it off of the eye. I let it cool and come all the way down with no pressure. And then I take them out. I always say ping when I hear the pings. I love it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me in my first canning video, y'all. I'm a real homestead. I'm doing my thing. Subscribe and join the Lamely. See you in the next video. Bye.